It is truly my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Tracey McCain, Senior Vice President and Head of Legal for Sanofi Genzyme. It is an extraordinary accomplishment indeed for someone without a technical scientific background to have earned a place in the inner circle at a company that earns its money via scientific research. During Ms. McCain's 18 years with the biotechnology company, she has managed a variety of responsibilities, including supervision of strategic transactions, managing attorneys handling corporate securities, employment, litigation, and intellectual property matters, and participating on committees such as the Community Relations Review Committee and the Global Crisis Management Committee. Ms. McCain is a member of Sanofi Genzyme's executive leadership team, as well as Sanofi's legal steering committee. Sanofi Genzyme, with global headquarters in Cambridge, develops specialty treatments for debilitating diseases that are often difficult to diagnose and treat, providing hope to patients and their families. Its primary areas of focus are rare genetic diseases, multiple sclerosis, oncology, and immunology. In addition to her stellar legal career, which included time as an associate at Palmer & Dodge, Ms. McCain has played a significant role in Boston's civic life. She recently became a governing trustee of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and previously had a 13-year relationship with the New England Conservatory of Music, first as an overseer and then as a trustee. She also had the privilege of participating in the Fellows Program of the Partnership, Inc., and serving as a member of the Executive Committee of the Massachusetts Black Women Attorneys Association, a group from whom she received the 2016 Ida B. Wells Award. Ms. McCain did not go to school here at Northeastern, having earned her BA from the University of Pennsylvania and her JD from Columbia University School of Law, but I will let her tell you why, nonetheless, this is not her first Northeastern graduation. Please join me in welcoming Tracey L. McCain.
Thank you, Dean Paul. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Provost Bean, the trustees, Dean Paul, faculty and staff, and most of all, the class of 2016 for having me here today. I am honored. I am absolutely honored to be here with you to celebrate this amazing accomplishment. And I know it's already been done, but I think it deserves to be done again. I would like to take a moment for us to give a round of applause to thank the family and friends who are here to support you, that are here in the arena or on the stream or here in spirit. When Dean Paul and I spoke about my being here today, I did indeed let him know that Northeastern is near and dear to my heart. And I have an actually long-term tie to Northeastern that goes back several decades. Now, hopefully, someone out there is thinking, Tracey, how can that be true? You look so young. Well, I'll tell you, my earliest memory is actually of Northeastern. I was 4, I was surrounded by people, and I was clinging to my mother's arm. I saw a large group of people, a crowd. My father was in there somewhere. I couldn't see him, and I was scared. I was at my father's graduation. My father came to Northeastern as an undergraduate after serving in the U.S. Navy, and I had the privilege of attending his graduation. Fast forward to the 80s, the groovy 80s, I think they were. I was in college, and the Honorable Roderick Ireland, former Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court, gave me my first job related to the legal profession. He had heard that I was interested in applying to law school, and he gave me a summer job at the juvenile court. He was an amazing mentor. Fast forward a few more years. My sister earned her master's here at Northeastern, and in 2014, I had the honor of attending another Northeastern graduation. This time, it was my stepdaughter's graduation over at the Garden. Excuse me. That was a huge graduation, by the way. I couldn't see her either. But I was very proud of her. And I never admitted this to her. I was also kind of happy to be there because one of the honorary degree recipients was LL Cool J. And it never hurts to have LL at your graduation, so I was pretty happy. Now, I'm no LL, but we don't need him today because we have you, and you are our stars today. the class of 2016. Standing here looking at you, I feel energy. I can feel the energy coming off the class. It's fantastic. I'm motivated. I'm energized. This is such a fantastic accomplishment. You have worked so hard to earn a great foundation of knowledge and experience here at Northeastern, and it's going to serve you so well in so many different ways. So the question that I have for you today is, where is your journey going to take you next? How are you going to use that foundation? When I debated what to say to you when I came here today, I thought about all the very helpful advice I got from my family and friends over the years. I thought about telling you to keep an open mind, to stay open to the possibilities. Well, and then I realized that that was actually dating advice that someone had given me at one point, but it actually fits. It works here too. I also thought about telling you to go out there and make life happen. Don't just let life happen to you. And part of that is making sure that you go out and network. Make yourselves known. Make your interests known. Because even though you don't know what opportunities are going to present themselves to you, you do know that they're not going to just show up at your door. Get out there and network. Now, that was also dating advice around finding the right man, but it applies here too. I'm not going to do that though. What I'm going to do is challenge you. I'm going to challenge each and every one of you to get out there and make a difference. You can do it on your own or as part of a team. It can be big or it can be small, but in some way, go out there and have a positive impact on the world. When I sat where you are, I had no idea that I was going to get involved in biotechnology. I didn't know what I was going to do after graduation. I knew I eventually wanted to go in-house, and I knew that I wanted to contribute to building something, but I didn't know what that was. I was fortunate enough to go to Palmer & Dodge, where they had a thriving biotechnology client base that included Genzyme. That was my introduction to biotechnology. And as was said, you don't need to have a scientific or a medical background to get involved in life sciences. It's sort of like when I got involved with the New England Conservatory of Music. When people heard that I was on the board, and it happened again today, they usually say, "Oh, I didn't know you were a musician." No. I played the clarinet in marching band at Brookline High School right over at Parsons Field, wore the polyester uniform and the white spats and all. But I would never call myself a musician. But I do appreciate and value music, and saw that as an opportunity to get involved and make a contribution to something that I value despite the lack of my musical talent. As far as I'm concerned, it's the same with life sciences. I was a poli-sci major undergrad. In high school, I took a few science classes, but my scientific background was my love for science fiction, especially Star Trek. Now, that's usually not relevant at work, although sometimes it is. You do not need to be a doctor or a nurse or a scientist to help patients. What you do need is to be interested and curious about science and medicine, and willing to invest the time to learn about it. That is how you can succeed in joining the life sciences community. It's a very exciting time to be in life sciences. There are so many challenges that still need to be addressed, and so many opportunities to get involved. We are standing here at the intersection of healthcare, technology, and the law, especially in the greater Boston area. We have a thriving and vibrant community, a network of hospitals, universities, venture capital firms, as well as device, high-tech, biotech, and pharma companies. These industries can work together to transform lives by innovating ways to address patient needs across the spectrum, from diagnosis to treatment to maybe even cures. For example, we have advancements in analytics and the availability of big data that are leading to the development of better diagnostic tools to help patients understand what is causing the symptoms that they're suffering from. What is the underlying disease? We have the combination of advancements in microelectronics and cloud-based technology, allowing us to develop more sophisticated wearable devices and sensors to help physicians understand where their patients are with their health care and to monitor their progress. We have advancements in genomics that are leading to better and more use of precision medicine in fields like cancer, allowing physicians to select a therapy for their patients based on their patient's specific genetic mutations. These exciting advancements are happening right here in the greater Boston area and elsewhere. In reality, they're happening on a global theater. They're inspiring public policy debates around the world. They also raise a lot of legal and ethical questions that have to be very carefully analyzed. And they have to be analyzed in a matrix of international laws, diverse economies, and diverse cultures. This is an amazing opportunity for you as lawyers to get involved in these conversations, debates, and help to ensure that these advancements are happening in a responsible and an ethical way. Now, when people think about drug development, they typically focus on the scientists. They think about the scientists who discover and develop the drug. And that is the core, that's the essence of drug development. But it actually takes a fully integrated, multidisciplinary team to rally around the science to get the product from the lab to the market, and that includes lawyers. Let me give you an example. One of my earliest and my proudest moments came when I was at Genzyme. I was asked to help form a joint venture with a Dutch company to develop a cure for Pompe disease. Now, Pompe disease is a rare, ultra-rare disease that only afflicts about 10,000 people around the world. But it is absolutely devastating. Infants with the most severe form of this disease do not make it past their first birthday. It is devastating, and at that time, there was no therapy. The joint venture was the development of a therapy using enzyme expressed in the milk of rabbits, hundreds of thousands of rabbits. Now, when I was in law school, they didn't teach us about transgenics. They didn't teach us about how to derive medicine from rabbit milk, but I was willing to learn, and I could take that understanding and combine that with my understanding of contract law, of negotiations, and of corporate governance to help form this joint venture. That joint venture firmly placed our feet on the road towards developing a therapy. That road took a lot of twists and turns that were unexpected and resulted in several other transactions, including another joint venture, several license agreements, and the acquisition of a company in Oklahoma. But over the course of 8 years, we were able to test 4 different products, and ultimately, in March of 2006, we got our product, Myozyme, approved by the FDA. That was one of my proudest moments, and I was very happy to be part of that team from the first day. There are stories like this behind the development of many products that are currently available on the market. This story happened to make its way into a book that became the basis for a Hollywood movie. Now, if you go and see the movie, you'll see that the lawyers never make it in, at least not in a positive way, and my role didn't make it in. But if I had been asked, I would have asked for Angela Bassett to play me. The approval of Myozyme was just the beginning of our commitment to Pompe patients. We continued on with the development of a diagnostic tool and a second-generation product that's in the clinic. But there are 7,000 known rare diseases, and only 400 have therapies. Only 400 out of 7,000. There are so many patients out there that are relying upon our community to continue striving for advancements in answers and therapies for their diseases. Working at Sanofi Genzyme has allowed me to be part of a purpose-driven team in a company that has a 25-year history of humanitarian programs and meaningful community involvement. It has allowed me to strive to make a difference. But the question I have for you is, how will you do that? How will you try to make a difference? And how will you know? Chances are, for most of us, it won't be from the number of likes that we get, or the number of followers that we have, or whether or not we become a member of Taylor Swift's Girl Squad, but it may be from the satisfaction that you get from mentoring another student, or from giving her a summer job, community service, or working for a company that has a mission that aligns with your personal values. As President John Kennedy once said, one person can make a difference, and everyone should try. Your professional journeys will take you today in different directions. Your network is here. You are surrounded by people who know how great you are and what you can do. And we're all excited to see what you do next and where your journey takes you. No matter what you do after today, as long as you leverage the knowledge and the experience that you worked hard to gain here at Northeastern, and if you bring your common sense and your humanity with you every day, no matter what you do, you will be great and you will make a difference. Congratulations to the class of 2016 and welcome to the legal community.